following is a presentation of Epic Esports Radio Network. Live from Oregon, broadcasting around the world, you're listening to the Coach's Corner Radio Show. Sit back as we provide in-depth analysis covering all your favorite sports. Football, baseball, soccer. There's not a sport that we don't cover. So step up to the plate. Get ready for a hit. We're putting on a show, and Coach Craven's hosting it. So without further ado, we proudly present to you your host, Coach Brian Craven.
Welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Brian Craven, and this is my good buddy, Doug Day. We have
What's up?
How you doing, Doug?
I'm hanging out, chilling.
We've got some big news today, which, unless you've been under a rock, you've heard about it. We're also going to go over some of the games over the weekend, look at league standings. Nobody running away with things, are they? Do we have anyone? Yeah, no, we do have a couple with only one loss. Yeah, we're going over all of that stuff.
I think there's two.
Okay, but yeah, we're going to go over all of that stuff, and I hope you're enjoying the new intro. Thank you very much, Epic Esports, for all you're doing for me. Going to have to raise my game because these guys are clearly professionals, and I'm
definitely.
I'm a rank amateur at this point, but we'll get there. We will get there. We will get there. Very exciting. Okay, first of all, without any further gilding of the lily, and no more ado, Chicago.
He's a gilding of the lily. All right. Here we go.
I recently watched a movie. I can't remember which one it was, and the guy said, no further gilding of the lily. Oh, it was that utterly horrible and yet fun A Knight's Tale. You know that one I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Heath Ledger. People singing "We Will Rock You" apparently in medieval times. Come on.
Definitely.
When I first saw that, I almost turned it off, but it was actually
kind of going with that. You know, you're talking about singing, "We Will Rock You." You know, it's like I watched a movie the other day that with my wife she'd never seen before, and thinking of medieval times, singing "We Will Rock You." That's inconceivable.
Yes.
The Princess Bride.
Yes.
Love it. Anyway.
Inconceivable. Nice segue.
Yes. Nice segue.
So you all saw or heard the league announcement. I kind of wonder if maybe I should bring that up and go over a couple of points just to...
That would probably help.
Be a bad idea. So we had a very unfortunate scandal this weekend, people. And it's not just this weekend. Like I said, unless you've been under a rock, you know what we're talking about.
It sounds like it's been brewing for a little bit, so.
It does. It
was just brought to our attention yesterday, so.
Right.
Which is a good thing, because if something's going to happen, I'd rather, the league, the way they're handling it, it's just kind of like, all right, let's do the investigation, let's wait and see, and then we will publish.
Right.
Just it's better than just being like, I just fly off the handle and just throw some stuff out there.
Let me read a couple points off of the league statement, the commissioner's statement. Chicago Wildcats owner Shan Varner admitted to Director of Compliance Mark Hurwitz that he has been progressing Cody Scott of Louisiana and Sean Harrelson of Atlanta this season with further credible evidence brought to league indicating these players have not been involved with progression in the progression era of the XFL for some time. Further, Cody Scott's account was on the coaching staff of St. Louis set last season with access to Gladiator game plan, putting the integrity of competition and the shield at risk. This gave Varner access to multiple locker rooms and potential progression plans.
That's huge.
Per the code of conduct for major offenses, two-thirds majority of owners quickly approved the suspension of Varner in all league activities for the remainder of the season. This adds to the charges. I don't know what that means. This adds to the charges. of 5 weeks of coach points for the Wildcats stripped. Were the 5 weeks of coach points stripped because of this? I don't know. Maybe I'm being dense. The league has taken further action for violation to the LAA, banning Shan Varner, tight end, from ever returning to the field, removal of season 15 progression, and extending the suspension of Varner to week 5 of season 16 if Varner remains the owner of Chicago after this season. Chicago will be stripped of 50 cap points in season 16. The review of Varner's ownership will occur at the end of the season. Varner's player will not be replaced. Chicago will play down a star for the remainder of season 15. Obviously, there's more to it than that because there is also stuff about Louisiana and Gerald Smith. But it's a similar punishment, and I'm going to say right off the bat, I feel like it does not fit the crime. Something doesn't fit the crime. Either Gerald's being punished too harshly or Varner is being punished not severely enough. This comes from a perspective of not knowing all of the details, and I understand where the league is on Gerald's infraction. I understand that. I don't think he's. You know what? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it be. We'll get to that when we get to that. But about Chicago. Doug, run with it. What have you got?
My thing is, it's the wording that they used. So, am I to understand that when we'll just keep it simple? Am I to understand that a owner / player had multiple accounts? Is this what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay. I've heard this before. They've found out that somebody in the minor leagues or somebody in the SFL had multiple accounts and they were banned.
Players, yeah.
Am I hearing this right? That this owner player had multiple accounts and he just got suspended?
Yeah.
That I don't get.
It doesn't sit well, does it?
I mean, if I were to have had multiple accounts, I would have got banned. I would have got kicked out of the server.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he gets a suspension.
Well, yeah.
But like I said, I mean, there's a lot that we don't know, but still, it's cut and dry. He had multiple accounts. He should be banned.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm missing something else. That's, and then, whatever the situation was with Gerald, whatever, I could see the suspension. But multiple accounts, from what I understood, multiple accounts was a bannable,
It's supposed to be.
But they went in and voted on this, and they voted to, okay, so I have multiple accounts. I'm found out. Do I get a vote?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a great guy, we're gonna keep it.
I want to be very clear. Let's be clear when we're talking here about what we know versus what we suspect.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I've seen people, and they've put it out there. This person was found to have had multiple accounts. He has been banned from the server.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a guy that's doing the same thing that gets suspended. Again, unless I'm missing something.
It's a valid question. Question.
That's kind of what's been weighing on me for the last couple of days is like, let's see how it rolls.
on that simple fact alone, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, because they're talking about, his player will never be, who gives a crap about his player? The person should be banned. It doesn't matter if you've been in the league 10 seasons or one day. If you break that rule, bye.
Well, consistency consistency is very important. I mean, you hear this; it's important everywhere. Consistency in parenting is very important. Consistency in education is very important. Consistency in an organization is important. So yes, I completely agree with that. I will say, because of the emotional reaction to this, on one level, I don't have a problem with saying we're going to suspend him for now. We're going to take these steps for now. We're going to review it. By all accounts, from what I've heard from some owners, they don't see him keeping his franchise. But I've also heard others saying that they think he will. And I'm going to say this right now. I don't know. I don't know everyone in the league, but I know some prominent folks in the league, and they're not going to stick around if that happens. They're not going to stick around if that happens, because that's an integrity issue. That is an integrity issue. And I'll say something else. I'll say something else about, we were talking about players and whatnot. Owners should be held to a higher standard.
Oh yeah.
We see that conversation all the time. You see an owner in chat kind of being a bit of a jerk to somebody. Like, owners should be held to a higher standard. And we're all human. We're all human, and we're going to have missteps. But that's one of the things about being an owner. You should be held to a higher standard. That is also why, and I'm circling to Gerald on this, everything I know about Gerald is that he's a stand-up guy. What I have heard about him is that he was loaning money to someone in need. Now, as it turns out, that someone was Shan Varner. So the question comes up, was Shan trying to scam Gerald?
Was it a setup?
It feels like it, and why? What was that about? Now, if Gerald had not signed Shan / Cody, right? Then maybe he'd be on a little bit better footing. He has no way of knowing whether the money he loaned him went to the. It boils down to, you can't pay for someone's subscription. I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. But,
and I don't get that.
Well, yeah, but that's a different issue. Let's not cloud the issue. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
We'll roll.
I understand their argument. I disagree with it to an extent, but nonetheless. So anyway, the point being about Gerald was that owners need to be to a little bit of a higher standard. Gerald he screwed up a little bit. He screwed up a little bit. It wasn't a willful deception. That's a very important part of this to me. It wasn't a willful deception on Gerald's part that we know of.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on there. Shan was willfully deceiving the league.
Yeah.
And
he knew what he was doing.
And that's the problem. And I understand he's got friends out there. I don't know if they listen to the show or not. At least a couple of them, I'm sure, don't, because I don't know. They don't like me that much. But no, actually, it's you, Doug. They don't like you. They love me.
Oh, I can understand that. I'm a freaking jerk. I don't care. I'm unhinged, baby.
Unhinged, baby.
Don't make me bring Sergey.
Sergey, I'm not letting Sergey in. But I understand some people. They were friends with Shan, have been for a long time. Listen, we all have friends, or we ourselves have done things that we know are wrong. It's painful. They still have to pay the consequences for those things.
And that brings up another thing.
Yeah.
Like you said, Shan's got friends in this league.
He does.
Did they know about this?
Well, now we're getting into speculation, but it's hard to say.
Now we're getting into speculation, but
it's
we'll stay away from that.
Not. Well, no. We can. I feel like we can speculate, but we need to be clear that we're speculating. Yeah. We're not putting out facts, because I don't.
It's kind of, who knew what and when.
We're not CNN here, so we're not going to make crap up. All right. But I don't give a crap. Screw you. But
I heard Robert Garrett. No, I'm just kidding. Love you, Robert.
We're gonna mess with Robert every time we do a show, aren't we?
You know we are.
I want to be very clear, very, very clear.
Yeah.
We don't know all the details. We do not know all the details, but that is an important point because there's a lot of people that don't know all the details, and those people are ready to go if things aren't handled with integrity. With integrity. Now, listen. A lot of people want this league to grow. They want it to be something special. And it already is something special. It already is something special. But there is the potential for rot at the core. And I'm not pointing a finger at Cam. I'm not pointing a finger at any one particular person. All right?
Yeah.
But if gardens go untended and you don't take care of the weeds, the garden dies.
Yeah.
It does every single time. Okay? And you can't protect. You two wrongs don't make a right. Take your pick on the analogy. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
This has to happen. And one more, sunlight is the best disinfectant. And this crap needs to get drug out into the sunlight.
Yeah.
And exposed and dealt with. Not
Full
calling for a witch hunt.
transparency.
Not calling for a witch hunt. We were in that chat the other day, and guys were going, and hey, I don't blame them. But it was like, listen, the suspension right now is fine because mob rule cannot be the rule. It cannot be the rule. There has to be some time. But in the end, there really feels like only one possible outcome for this. And this is a direct offense against competition, against fairness, against the league, against integrity.
Yeah.
And it must be addressed.
Well, this brings up another point, too. I remember, I think it was a couple of weeks back when Cam had that, I guess, open voice channel that everybody jumped into. And
not the one with the rookies you're talking about?
No, this was a different one.
Okay.
And I think it was Rosca that brought up how do we know in this the ID part? How do we know who's in here? You know?
Yep.
I mean, how do we know? How do we verify that this never happens again?
At this point, we can. And there's a couple of problems.
You know?
There's a couple of problems. I believe I saw somebody say we can't require ID under 18.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, I mean, there's some teenagers I wouldn't mind seeing out of the league just because they're annoying, but it's a free country and it's fine. You know, it is what it is. I'm not saying come out of the league. Keep your panties on, people. Don't get upset. But I'm a little salty today. So there's some problems with that. But I hear people talk about solutions. Now often I hear when the mob gets rolling, you hear people say, it's really simple, blah, 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 and they rattle this stuff off, and they're so adamant about it that they won't listen to counterpoints, okay? So, again, we're talking about what we know, what we don't know, speculation, things like that. I don't know all the details about verifying accounts. I don't know all the details about verifying people. I'll tell you one thing, though. That I think owners should be doing. If I'm an owner and I'm looking at signing people or drafting people, I'm requiring a Zoom meeting. And maybe I legally can't do it, but I need to see you face to face.
Yeah.
I need to see you face to face. And I'm sure there's ways around that, but we need another layer. There needs to be another layer there.
Yeah.
Doug, I got to ask you. I got to put this out there. Do you think Dan's the only person doing this?
Ooh. Right now, I think he is. You're gonna see people release.
Well, honestly, we saw some people leave the league over the weekend. Some longtime guys.
Oh yeah. Honestly,
by the way. Wait. Go ahead. Hang on to it. Chad Rowland's not one of those guys. Chad
No.
Bowen left on principle. We know Chad
Yeah.
left on principle. I don't want to paint Chad with that brush. So
Yeah. But
anyway.
yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it's been a shock, like when we look at signings, and we see people that left, we're like, wow, really? Oh, okay. So it kind of makes you wonder, like when Liam went into Chicago, when Gunny went into Chicago, the people that he replaced, were they? Or weren't, it's kind of one of those things. If you don't see somebody in general chat on a regular basis, you're kind of thinking.
Right.
And I understand people are busy and, this and this and that, but it's like, I think this is an isolated incident.
I don't agree.
Back.
And I don't have any reason. I'm just saying I don't agree. I don't have any specific accusations to level, and I shouldn't. Shouldn't. But I think, listen, man, and I don't know who they are. I think every owner that defended Shan is in question. Everyone. And I just pissed off some people. I know I did. And well, I apologize.
The thing about it is, it's not that. It's they suspended him for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I said at the top of the show, am I to understand that an owner player / blah 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 had multiple accounts? Mm-hmm. They determined that he did, correct? Mm-hmm. There should be no question. It should have been a 100%. 100%. Every owner should have been, you know what? He's a great guy, but he broke the rule.
There are consequences. There's the price you pay for the choice you made.
To not vote, to say, nah, we don't suspend him. What are you thinking?
There are people saying he brings so much to the league. Okay.
Yeah, himself.
There's a price to pay for the choices you make. All right. I mean, I said to kids all the time in schools, I said, listen, I'm not going to hunt you down and follow you around and make sure you follow all the rules. But if you get caught doing something, I don't want to hear one word about how unfair it is. You know the rules ahead of time. And hey, man, I was no saint. I still am not a saint. But I was no saint growing up. And that's part of why I feel so strongly about this. I should have got smacked around for some stuff. Okay.
Now, in that thing, it says 2/3 of the vote.
That's what was required. That's what was required. I don't know if it was 2/3 of the vote. Okay. That's what was required.
Oh, all right. So it could have been 100. Okay, yeah.
It could have been, but it wasn't. We know it wasn't because we have sources.
Yeah.
And we know it was not 100%. We know an owner said, but he brings so much to the league.
Yeah.
And hey, if those owners are listening, if those owners are listening, I am willing to listen. So if those owners hear this and they want to, first of all, please set your emotions aside. I'm trying to set your emotions aside. Go ahead and DM me, make a compelling argument, and I will listen to you. I will. I'll listen.
This is Big J journalism. We're here to, we want
Big
the facts.
J journalism. Kudos, credit given to, I believe it's Joel Klatt. I gotta find it. It's Joel Klatt or or Colin Coward. It's on Colin Coward's show. Don't want any accusations of plagiarism here.
There you go.
Transparency, integrity.
What?
I would say FBI, fidelity, bravery, integrity, but the FBI is in question. So anyway, but yeah, back to my original, Doug. I think there's other people doing it. Okay, how do we know? And you again, I've got a crush on Sioux Falls. We never see guys from Sioux Falls in chat. Now why? Okay, Sioux Falls is happy with Sioux Falls. They love each other. Obviously, they're in there. Yeah, I'm not in chat very much. because I'm all about LSG. I got most of my people, and I have friends outside. Obviously, we have friends outside of LSG, but LSG is our team. We love our team. I don't need to go into the locker room, and so a team like Sioux Falls that is in their locker room, but how do we know? We don't know. We need that verification somehow. How do we know how many people are not in chat? And even if they are in chat, you don't know. I really want to be clear. I'm not accusing Sioux Falls. I'm not. But it's just an example of the. We've got
everybody's going to start looking around now.
We've got no way of knowing, and that's the other tragedy about this thing. It casts doubt on every owner in the league.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't. It shouldn't. We know some of these guys. Do we think Eddie Gage is doing this? No, we don't think Eddie Gage is doing this. Do we think Charles is doing this? Well, we know Charles isn't doing this because we've heard every single voice on our team. Yeah. But somebody else might think so, because how would they know? Because not everyone on Lone Star is in chat. Not everyone on Lone Star is visible. Do we know everybody? Mm-hmm. Do we know every single person on Florida, on Jacksonville? You don't.
Yeah.
Carolina. Pick a team. You don't know every single person.
And so, how many owners could have said, well, okay, hey Craven, I'm actually going to be leaving the league here at the end of this season. Mm-hmm. Well, nah, bro, just leave me your stuff and I'll just run your guy.
Mm-hmm. My guy signs with, but my guy, your guy, signs with my team.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it's kind of one of those things where, all these people retired at the end of the season, at the end of season 14. A lot of people came back, but how many of them came back?
Wow.
I'm just.
Well, no, what if we'd gotten a hold of now? Hey, we love Ike. We're glad Ike's our running back. But what if we'd gotten a hold of Zach Sandlin, and he would have been willing to do it?
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, Zach Sandlin's not leaving the league. That would have been really easy to do.
Oh yeah.
It would have been really easy to do. So I think something's happening. And yes, I do think there are other people doing it. I think there's other owners doing it. Off the top of my head, I'm sitting here and I'm racking my brain. There's a couple that I have no way of knowing them. I don't know anything about them. I don't know. I am not going to level any direct accusations about that because I have no evidence. I have no evidence, and so that's fine. And I'm not eager to start moving around in their life and find out.
Yeah.
But circling back around, if the league is going to be everything it can be, the foundation has to be solid. Foundation has to be based on integrity. We need to get out in front of these things. In some ways, I don't know why this decision is up to the owners, to the other owners. And that's putting a lot on Cam, and maybe that's not fair. But I don't know why this decision's up to the owners.
But I mean, it's there's the whatever it was, the rule book, and the rule book says, I didn't think there was any room for interpretation on this. If you have multiple accounts, you're out. Mm-hmm. Done. Mm-hmm.
It's
again, like we said, we don't know exactly the whole story, but if you voted,
but that's been confirmed
for him to be able to stay.
Right.
I don't.
And you said, you're right. We don't know the whole story, but that has been confirmed. At least 3 accounts.
Yeah.
At least 3 accounts. Himself, Cody Scott, Sean Hill.
Instant ban. Instant.
That's a consistency thing. You tell your kid he can't have chocolate chip cookie one time, and the next time you say he can't have it, and then he takes it anyway, and you don't do anything about it. You're never going to get another chocolate chip cookie, and you're going to have a fat son.
Yeah.
He's going to eat all the chocolate chip cookies.
Now, are we able to talk about this subscription thing?
Subscription thing? Are you asking me? Go ahead.
So, it's just the whole.
You talking about Gerald or subscription specifically? Hello. Seem to be having some technical difficulties, folks. Let's get Doug back on here right when he was about to start talking about something else. There you are. There you are. You disappeared for a while, bro. You disappeared for a while.
Oh, okay.
Got to start over. Over. Sorry.
The subscriptions?
Yes. I asked if you were talking about Gerald specifically or what, and then I didn't get anything else from you.
Oh, okay. So, like the subscription, say you and I are on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened. Or whoever, hey, you know what? Let me kick you up $10. Pay for your subscription. You can stay in the league. You're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the whole, I'm an owner and you're on this other team. I pay for your subscription. You come to my team. I can understand that. But what makes it so bad to want to help somebody out and, take up their, hey, let me send you, pay for your subscription. You can stay in the league, hang out.
At least you've still got this to hang on.
Yeah. I don't understand. I mean, it's not really, especially right now, it's not really a pay to play, a pay to win kind of thing. It's just, I'm here. I'm able to stay with my friends.
Right.
Yeah, you can still be in the Discord and everything like that, but there's people now that, oh, I'm having a hard time. I can't pay the subscription. But I asked that question one time in general, and all I got was, it's in the rules. It's against the rules. Well, why is it? Because it's against the. Can I? I've never really gotten a clear.
Yeah.
I've never really gotten a clear answer on that. I just didn't understand that part. Yeah. Because I think it was mentioned yesterday somewhere that, and again, not saying anything, not, just putting a fact out there. There's certain players, we'll just say this, there's certain players that could possibly be living in the same household.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of sort of thing.
Well, you're talking about parents and their kids, and that's the different. I mean, why? Right, and that they should be able to do that. That shouldn't be a problem at all.
Yeah.
So no. Well, it's okay. Listen, it's a flawed rule. All right. Let's just say it's a flawed rule.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. We've got these things called amendments that we do to our constitutions.
Oh yeah.
There are things can be adjusted. So at its core, it's a flawed rule. All right.
Because like I said, I mean, an owner paying for a player, then the player comes to that team. That's kind of like,
That's not good.
But a player on the same team helping out another player from that same team, I don't know. Is what it is.
Well, and that thing and what you're talking about, the Cody Scott thing with Louisiana kind of clouds all of that. It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard to separate those things in our minds.
Yeah.
See, I feel like that rule right now is a pretty small potato compared to the rest.
Oh yeah.
That's not going to be a break. That's not going to be a make or break thing for people. But
I mean, that rule affected an owner.
It did.
Because another owner did whatever,
I have to think. Speculation, not fact. I have to think Shan was setting him up somehow.
Yeah.
It feels like it.
Because I mean, they were both in St. Louis.
Well, yeah.
so-so, I guess.
Well, and here's another thing. Gerald, I've been told, did not. He kind of had maybe a gentleman's agreement or something with St. Louis that he wouldn't actively recruit any of St. Louis's players. Now some
I
of
can
them did
understand
go.
that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure, I can see that. that. Lone Star, we had several people go from Vancouver to Lone Star. All of us had our various connections. That kind of thing's understandable, but it was all our own decision. It wasn't like Charles coerced us or anything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did send
Come
me
to Lone Star, get beer.
Well, yeah, but we didn't know about the beer until after. Charles did send me a picture. He was modeling a hat. Is all I'm going to say. And there might have been a Navy ship in the background. I mean, I like big boats, and I cannot lie. So, God, that was so awkward. I apologize, Charles.
Oh, that was awesome. I could just see Charles cutting the video. Right
now, Charles is going, "You son of a." We need to laugh. We need to laugh. Laugh about it, Charles. You're my boy. You're my boy.
And then Wally's in the background on the drums. Catalina wine mixer. Oh,
jeez.
So,
that was awful. Okay, back on track. Anyway, the point being, I said that about Gerald. Because Gerald, by all accounts, was trying to be a stand-up guy. Everything I've heard about Gerald is that he was a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Cody Scott was his teammate. He didn't know that it was Shan. Cody Scott was on his team, and he was in need. He wanted to help him. I mean, hopefully all of us have helped out a friend in need at one point or another. I know you have. We talked about it. You're helping out someone in need. That's all he knew. That's all he knew as far as we know. Now, he said he had no way of knowing whether or not it went to the subscription. As it turns out, it wasn't a friend. It was, frankly, somebody. It was a snake. But Gerald didn't know that. Now maybe for the sake of integrity, Gerald should have been like, I can't sign you. Because if Gerald had that agreement in with St. Louis, then he didn't recruit Cody Scott. Right? So then Cody Scott / Shan had to approach him about joining them. And who wouldn't have wanted Cody Scott on their team? It was a good tight end build. It was a good player, right?
Oh, yeah.
But Gerald, for the sake of integrity, probably should have been like, I can't sign you because I loaned you money. Maybe next season,
Yeah.
But that's a pretty thin line kind of thing. Why would you not want someone that you think is a friend that why would you not want them on your team?
Yeah.
Right. So that's a tough deal. From what I understand about the meeting, that there were a lot of owners that were saying, well, what about Gerald? What about Gerald? And they're almost attacking Gerald more than Shan. And that tells you that we've got some tribalism going on. And that's not good. And I am kind of calling out some owners when I say that. Like, and this brings us to another point that I have said before. The league and the owners need to understand that the players are their clients. The players are their customers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Now, I'm not saying the inmate shouldn't be running the asylum, but there is an old saying about customers, and that is that they are always right.
Yeah.
And that's why that's why I'm saying get everything out in the sunlight, okay? Because otherwise people are going to speculate. And if they're speculating incorrectly, if they have the wrong information, they may just leave. Customers don't need a reason. And there are other leagues out there. There are other leagues coming up.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't
Yeah.
want anyone to leave. I made that crack about teenagers earlier. I don't want them to leave either. I don't want anyone to leave. I certainly don't want to lose Lone Star. I don't want to lose what we have, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't care how good Maximum Football is or some of these others. I love this league. I want this league to stay. I want to stay a part of this league for a long time.
Part of the league is the camaraderie that we have with the other players and getting to know these guys. And, that's what the majority of this is. We get to hang out on a Sunday or a Saturday, watch some football, talk a little smack.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't love that part, but yeah. No, absolutely. And so you want it to go well. You're wishing for it to go well. You're hoping for it to go well. So these things need to be drug out into the sunlight.
Yeah.
And maybe some of the old guard feels resentful, and I can understand it. They've been here. They were here before it was popular. They were working, doing other jobs, doing other things, slaving. Giving their time,
blood, sweat, and tears into this product.
Blood, sweat, and tears trying to make this thing work, trying to help out. Certainly, Cam has put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Right?
The evolution is just incredible.
Absolutely, they've done something wonderful with it. So I completely understand a sense of ownership and whatnot. But you moved to this. You have moved to this. If you wanted to stay where it was your own little thing, you shouldn't have been so damn good.
Yeah.
Right? You shouldn't have been so welcoming. I'm sorry. You brought in people. You moved to a place. When we moved to the subscription model, which some people were angry about, I was not. I completely understood it. I was on board. Maybe it was implemented a little awkwardly, but it was still a move that needed to be made. Cam needed help. He needed the resources to do things, and he's done wonderful stuff with it.
Yeah.
Right?
That
When we moved to a subscription model, we definitely all became customers.
Yeah.
And I'm not supporting something. I'm not supporting a business that has some behind-the-scenes stuff that looks sketchy.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that less for Cam than for. I mean, I think Cam listens. I think he hears that. I think he understands that. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt there. But I am saying it to some owners. And we've said this about other things. We've said it about the owners. There are owners out there that say you're going to be drafted where I draft you, and you're going to play what I want, and you're going to like it. Not very many, but there's still some. Like, really? If you were paying me, you could do that. But the money's going the other way, right? There are owners. There are owners that don't communicate very much.
Yeah.
They're like, there are owners that don't do a lot of stuff like that. They're just focused on their team. Well, if that's the case, then the people are cattle, and cattle don't. That's the cattle have no humanity. They have no. Nobody. That tells you how they feel about the people individually. So they have to move. They have to move the mindset to these are customers. We're serving our customers, and so that's part of why this. I'm rambling a little bit, but that's part of why this stuff needs to be out in the open. It's a big deal. It's a big deal, and the emotions. And I think I've been cooler-headed about it than a lot of guys, a lot of people I've talked to. But I'm pissed because I found this thing. I found this thing. I love this thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like you find you were the chosen one, right? You find a girl, or if you're a girl, you find a guy. You think they're amazing. They sucker you in with, and then you find out they're playing the same game, playing games behind your back. It breaks your heart. It breaks your heart, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right? So of course I'm pissed. I want to see things different. I don't know how optimistic I am. If I'm perfectly honest, I don't know how optimistic I am. Seeing some people, some league people, so discouraged by it, so frustrated by it. having already seen Chad Rowland leave, who I was just getting to know, starting to respect. I didn't know Chad very well until, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Well, I remember when Chad came in, and it's like all the other rookies, that they're all, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They want to play. And then to see Chad get with Baltimore and this goes for everybody. This goes for everybody that does this. Ross Napoli's another one.
Yeah.
They get with a team and they want to do more. And now he was the GM. Mm-hmm. He's moving up you hear about these guys. I love this shit bad. I want to be an owner. I want to have my own team. I love this. And then for something to happen to destroy that love, it heartbreaking.
Right. Right. There are people who are hurt, who are angry.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like, if you've angered these people, you need to ask yourself why. If these people are going to might become your enemy, you have done something significant, because these are people that love you.
I mean, this is an anger this is like when I go to Walmart and there's no Twinkies. That's the kind of anger I feel. That
I should have known. I was like, Walmart? Walmart? What the heck?
It's just, you drop to the floor, you're kicking and screaming, you're like, why? What the heck? So anyway.
Well, no, it's
gonna keep it light.
Yeah. take the wind right out of those sails. But yeah, you're right. Boy, I hope my chair's not squeaking so much that I'm ruining the audio.
I'm just waiting on the dogs to come back.
Well, they're not coming in here. If you've chased Chad Rowland away, you should be asking yourself why.
Yeah.
You remember how he was? I mean, when he got his minor league coaching gig.
Oh, he was
doing all that branding stuff and everything.
Yeah. Yep.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Sitting there going, Shan brings so much to the league. You just chase someone away that brings so much to the league.
Yeah.
Was just scratching the surface of what he brought to the league. I don't know how Ross feels. I was going to reach out to him and chat with him a little bit. Ross, you're my guy. If I haven't talked to you yet, reach out to me.
Yeah.
And if I haven't talked to you yet, I apologize, because this is obviously getting sent out a couple of days after we recorded.
He's probably sitting back waiting. He's probably biding his time.
He's got stuff. Well, he's got stuff to do, and he's equipped to handle it. They've got guys there.
Yeah.
They've got guys there. Louisiana's going to be fine. Gerald is going to be fine. But we got multiple things here, obviously, because like I said at the top, I felt like that punishment was too harsh. Being so close to camp, but I'm acknowledging that the rule is a big deal to a lot of people, and so if you violate the rule, okay. By the same logic as what you said with multiple players, multiple accounts, you get banned.
So let me ask you this question. Let me throw this out there.
Okay.
Is Chicago up for sale?
Well, not yet, because Chan's suspended.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
If you're looking at that, who's a good guy to take over Chicago? Wild speculation here. We're going to throw crap out. Who's a good guy?
Wild speculation?
Yeah.
I could see Hackett and
Improda.
Sorry, Improda. I could see Mikey and Hackett. Yeah. I could see those two putting in a bid.
I could see that happening. I like Greg Soto, despite him being a schmuck. Kidding, Greg. Kidding. You see, I made Greg salty. I made Greg a little salty. I mean, he was good natured about it. But Greg's a good guy. I said the thing about schmucks taking over your.
Greg's a good dude.
Greg's a talented schmuck, and I think that he would be a good person as well.
Yeah.
But sure, I mean, Improta's been there a couple of seasons. You can see that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, hey, that's another part of the tragedy. So let's say that Chicago is up for sale. You're an owner. You're a prospective owner, and you're like, yeah, I'll do that. And you're going to take a 50-point cap hit that first season. Oof. That's a big deal.
But if somebody else buys Chicago, say it goes up for sale,
right?
Say the person purchases it,
right?
Other than, of course, Improta and Hackett or whoever, do they move Chicago?
Well, if
because I mean, I was talking the other day about, everybody's talking about the expansion team, and say BJ Loveless and Jack Brown buy it, move it to Detroit.
You really think they're going to get
I have no idea, but hey, this is the SFL, man. Weirder shit's happened.
I don't know BJ at all, but I don't see that happening.
Or does Optimus take it and
move
everybody to sunny San Diego?
Of course, if that happens, it might get moved. I mean, Seattle got moved to Texas. That's a different deal. And I thought of something while you were saying that. That's what I thought you were going to ask. Maybe the league will rule, if it's a completely new owner and everything, the league will be like, you're not subject to the 50-point cap rule. The 50-point cap rule is probably in place with if Shan gets his franchise back.
Yeah.
I can't say for sure. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they didn't think about it. It doesn't seem, any of those guys, it doesn't seem right to saddle them with that because of the accident of somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone would argue.
If it changes hands, I think that's just a
fresh start,
a Shan thing.
Right.
If Shan sells it, steps aside, sells it, Who's the offensive coordinator up there?
Sorry, I was drinking my coffee, my Irish coffee. Greg Soto.
And the DC?
Kanye Rockefeller.
Oh, maybe Kanye picks it up. Wasn't he in an expansion team talks?
I don't know. Maybe
Rockefeller. I could see Kanye maybe picking it up.
I don't see that happening, but it could.
Well, I mean, if speculation. That's why we're here.
That's here. Wild speculation. We've gone off the big J phase of our.
We have. But it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. That's all I got to say. That's where I'm gonna. That's where I'm gonna finish it.
Of course it is. But I again, Shane gets his franchise back. There are people leaving 100%.
Shan gets his franchise back. Yeah, that'll be rough.
And I'm going to say that some of those people, if they leave, I don't have a reason to stay either, because they're part of the draw.
Yeah.
And if I'm somebody on the other side of this and somebody tells me that, I'm like, you don't tell me what to do. Screw off. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And they should. I do not intend that as an ultimatum. Nobody that said it to me intended it as an ultimatum. We're not Antifa. Yeah. We're not unreasonable. Yeah. But it is something that we cannot be part of.
Yeah.
It's
hard to think about, but I mean, it's
at this point right now, let's say, would you consider playing for any other team? I wouldn't.
I
I love my team too much.
Yeah.
I love my owners too much. And if I lose some of my teammates over this, it's not the same team. Now life happens. People move on. Things happen. Things happen. But if this takes half my locker room, what am I staying for?
Yeah.
What am I staying for?
Thursday will be interesting.
What's Thursday?
The signings.
Oh.
Because usually, like every week, there's a drop and an ad.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what we'll see who's done.
Well, I think there needs to be there could be a few more drops too.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, we'll see who gets dropped.
These the only ones. I mean, we saw two guys leave. And long-time players, and they left. And
I mean, you had some people that left over the subscription.
Well, no.
What do you think this is going to do to people?
This is worse than that. Absolutely.
No, I'm just saying. If they left over the subscription, what is this going to do?
Well, and the people I'm talking about that left, the two longtime players that left, I'm not lamenting them. They left under suspicious circumstances. This is speculation. We have nothing confirmed. But it's one of those everybody knows. Strange man goes into the house across the street from you when the husband leaves and he's in the house all day and you never see anybody in front of the windows. Speculation, but everybody knows what they're speculating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's just the nature of it. So, yeah.
The two guys that left, there's a connection. Everybody knows it. Everybody's pretty sure about it. And there are still people left with that same connection.
Yeah. So you think this dead horse is dead enough?
We sure have beat the heck out of it.
We clubbed the crap out of it.
I'm a little concerned that ordinarily we come into these things, we're not scripted, but we've got a pretty clear outline. But there's so many threads to this that I feel like we wove quite a nest, and it may not be all that clear. So let's summarize. Well, I'll do the same. I want to hear a short summary from you of this situation. Tie it all up.
Short summary of this situation. Transparency will come out.
That's a very
rules will be adjusted.
Okay.
And we'll move on.
Okay.
Every company has their issues. Good leadership will figure it out, fix it, and drive on.
Okay.
That's it.
You may be a little more optimistic than I am, but I mean that's what I want. That's certainly what I want. My summary is similar. Integrity is the key point. Integrity and transparency is the key point. Don't say you're being transparent if you're holding things back. If you think they shouldn't hear this because they might not like it, they need to hear it. You need to get it out and get out in front of it. It needs to happen. The owners that are resisting need to get on board. And frankly, I'd love to know what owners are resisting, and maybe encourage people not to join that team. Make it hard for them.
Yeah.
There's no gray area. This is like cheating on your spouse. There's no gray area. Don't tell me you made a mistake. You made a choice.
Yep.
Choice. And hey, to my knowledge, I've never been cheated on, but it's a deal breaker, and that's what this is. No secrets, no behind the scenes stuff. Get it out in front, get it out in the open, and get out in front of it, and acknowledge we made a mistake, own it, and you'll keep people.
Mm-hmm.
Try to sweep it under the rug or minimize it or hide it, you're going to lose people, and everything we've gained will go away.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Nobody wants that. The people that left the league don't want that. I mean, I think some of the guys that left over the subscription thing hope it all burns down, but that's just being petty.
Yeah.
That's my summary. Get out in front of it. Drag it all out. Get out in front of it. Okay. Horse dead. Beaten.
Horse dead. Beaten to death.
Moving on. We had some good stuff happen.
Did we?
There was a certain overtime game that I'm not very happy with, but it was a heck of a game. Let's have a look at the games.
Oh, do we have to?
I didn't say we have to look at ours.
There's probably a few owners that we don't want to look at this. Some of the games that we've had over this weekend were just crazy.
My goodness, a lot of points.
I mean there was like Sioux Falls, which was a shock.
It was.
London, Portland, Queen City. I mean, these teams just got shellacked.
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen a score that high. 51 to 58. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, we talk about all the time about, you know, the AI of the game, and the AI wants to keep it competitive and fair, and, you know, blah 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 blah.
Well,
and then it comes up and says, "Hey, Louisiana, we're gonna freaking give you 49-3 over Portland." Portland, with my real world schedule, my work schedule keeps me from seeing a lot of these games, so I'll have to go back and watch. But looking at the score, I mean, it just seems Portland couldn't get out of their own way or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not. It's a blur. I'm like looking back at the scores. Yeah, 49-3. London, 58-10. Denver. The Sioux Falls one was surprising. I will say, I thought that Fort Worth offense was going to be explosive, but to do that against Sioux Falls, holy crap. Jacksonville laid 44 on Carolina. Carolina scored 24. How many? Looking at these scores. Okay, so we've got a 42-31, a 44-24, 49-3, 44-41. That one sucked. 15-17 or 51-17. That's a lot of points scored. On the other side of it, though, it's just as troubling to me. We've got 3 points. 13-16, 16-10. We got 10 points. We got some teams that didn't score. We got a 14-17. Although Chicago probably had the playbook.
Yeah.
Oh, I went there. I'm kidding. They didn't have the playbook. But there weren't a lot of close games. Las Vegas and Tulsa was an interesting game. Little bits. No, that one wasn't surprising. I said Tulsa could go 4-8. They could go 8-4. We never know.
Yeah.
The Queen City St. Louis one. Kudos to St. Louis, by the way.
Oh yeah, St. Louis is stepping it up.
You've now won 3 games.
Until next week.
So clearly, my possible prediction was incorrect. Man enough to admit it. So you didn't get to see all of these games, did you?
No, I haven't been able to catch them all yet.
Outside of ours, which was an entertaining game, Mexico City and Houston was actually closer than 42-31 because Mexico City was driving. And
Oh yeah.
Houston got a pick six. That was a good game. That was an
That pick six was a little. And again, we talk about the gameplay AI. I mean, it's like, and I take a lot of heat because I could be standing, nobody around me for 30 yards. You could throw me the ball, and I drop it. But yet, the AI deems it. The AI deems it funny to, there's the pass, tip, pick six. Really? And he comes out of a pile of like 5 guys and runs 90 some yards for a touchdown. And I'm standing there wide open. I don't know. But yeah, that Houston game could have been. Oh, that was a great game right at the end. I mean, it was the whole game was great, but I mean, it's just two powerhouses going at it, and Baltimore and Vancouver was another great one.
That was a good game. Vancouver had all those turnovers. Game. Yeah, they had all those turnovers and was still kind of good at the end.
And I think that's kind of what made our game, up there, because there wasn't a lot of like, oh, he threw it pick. There wasn't a lot of that. There was
only
just
one, right?
Little stuff.
One turnover, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was the AI being crazy again, so. But
we saw some things yesterday about where we can be offensively. I mean, 41 points. You tell me I'm going to score 41 points, most of the time I expect to win.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good about that. I liked the way the playbook was working for us, all of that stuff. I'm very happy with all of that. So.
And let me ask you this: how the hell does an old man like Optimus Klein get hops like that, fly 10 yards down the field to make a catch? What the?
He's Optimus.
He's Optimus.
Optimus.
We're going to have a hashtag, he's Optimus.
That, I said something when that happened that my mother would not appreciate.
Oh, yeah.
That was frustrating.
That was great.
But that was a good game.
Yeah.
It was a good game. I'm still sick over the ending of it, but it was a good game. So you don't have a lot for me for this week, I guess. Any standout players?
The other part. Well, like I said, I wasn't able to watch a lot of the games and stuff like that, but there was a little thing I wanted to kind of touch on. When we talk about the AI and the gameplay and stuff like that. We all joke about that stuff, but I'm not sure how I think there's 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7. Yeah, the standings. There's 7 teams that are 3-2, and there's 9 teams that are 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the game trying to keep everybody close? Other than London and Portland are 0-5, but London, Portland just got some breaks.
They're going to get wins. They're going to get wins.
Yeah.
Point. Hey, even London. Early on, London was competitive.
Yeah.
We sort of look at them like they're a dumpster fire right now. Based on that one game, but they were competitive early. They've had a little bit of upheaval there. I'm not 100% sure what Liam's doing. I like his guys though that are calling the plays now. I like Zach and Tanner Hendricks.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be fine.
Because I mean, if
they're
you
going to
think
get
about,
wins. Portland's going to get a win.
but if you think about this, Denver, Louisiana, Chicago, and Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
If all 4 of those teams lose next week, and half of the 3 and 2 teams win, then there's like almost 10 teams with a 4 and 2 record.
Yeah. Well, as to your first part of that question, you said, is that the computer trying to keep them close? Remember, the computer doesn't know our standings. It just was one game at a time. So
Yeah,
it
that's
can't
true.
do that. It's parity. It's parity in league, and it's a couple other things. There's a couple other things in place there, I think. We have some new coordinators, myself included. We have some new coordinators kind of finding their way.
Yeah.
Okay. We have several teams with a lot of not fully progressed players. You know, they're early in their careers. They're early in their progression.
Yeah.
All right. So we have those 2 things. And those 2 things lead to, this goes back to our comment. I asked you the other day if we thought we were going to have anyone go undefeated. We're going to have wildly different outcomes for a while. We're going to have different outcomes while the coordinators get their stuff together. We're going to have different outcomes while people are progressing. If your consistency is low, one game you're going to play well, the next you're going to disappear. You know, things like that. We're going to have all of that stuff. All of that stuff comes into play, and it's compelling. I mean, I want my team to be 5-0 or whatever right now, right?
Yeah.
Of course I do. But if you're just enjoying the league as a whole, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to be at this point and not see a clear-cut guy out front. Excuse me.
Well, I mean, going with that, you have Atlanta at 2 and 3. The only difference is the quarterback. You still have your same, the same guys running the team. They run their system. 2 and 3 is kind of tough.
Quarterback's a big piece.
And then you turn around and you have, dude, these guys had to draft their whole offense.
St. Louis.
And they're 3 and 2.
Yeah. Well, you have to look at their opponents as well, though. Atlanta's played some very tough opponents. And the more bulletin board material for St. Louis. St. Louis hasn't. Not everybody they've played has been like top tier team.
Yeah.
Now you gotta play who you gotta play. Not everyone we've played has been traditional top tier contender teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only team. Correct me if I'm wrong. The only team we played thus far that was a playoff team last year was Vancouver. Look how that one went, right?
Oh, do I have to?
In theory, you don't have to revisit it. Don't have to live.
Okay. We knew we were going to have a challenge with Vancouver. We knew that right off the top.
Well, and what else did we have? What else did we have in that game? We had me, and I didn't have my playbook exactly squared away.
Oh yeah.
Young coordinator, new coordinator, figuring the game out. Okay. So you had that going on. So Vancouver took advantage, right?
Yeah.
Vancouver with a lot of fully progressed players.
Yeah.
You look at the teams that have got a lot of gold players or a lot of highest silver players.
Yeah.
A team like Sioux Falls, who's also played a pretty tough schedule. But you see a team like Sioux Falls who brought everybody back, had pretty good progression going on. The people they added that are low value, they just added them. They're not expected to be key players because they've got studs all around them. So you've got things like that. So you have to look at the schedule as well. Charleston's still sitting there. Charleston's had a brutal schedule. And who have they got this week? I'm pulling that thing up right now. Charleston has. I just skimmed right over it. Come on. They got Jacksonville. Charleston's got Jacksonville.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
At home. Well, then Jacksonville's not. I mean, math is unbiased. Jacksonville was number 1 at the beginning of the year on the math nerd scale.
Yeah. So you want to roll? You want to roll through this real quick?
Roll through what?
So we got Mexico City at Vancouver.
We're looking next week. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. That's going to be a good one.
Well,
London.
Ramos is a good coach. It's a matchup. It's a decent matchup. Vancouver at home, though. Vancouver.
So do you think Krim and Stover are gonna go after Pepper?
Krim will. Stover, about halftime he'll be done.
Yeah. London at Atlanta.
Well, it doesn't get better for London, does it?
Yeah.
It doesn't get better for London. Nobody counts.
Yeah.
You shouldn't count Atlanta out. Nobody should count Atlanta out.
Yeah. Chicago goes to Carolina. That'll probably go as we figure. I don't know.
Well, that's a tough one. Carolina is wildly inconsistent, aren't they? Sometimes they're really good. They give people a battle. Chicago in some ways, I think Soto and Rockefeller, because they've been doing that stuff all season long, I think in some ways they won't miss a beat. I believe they're losing their coaching point for the week, so there's a little bit of a deficit there. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Maybe the coaching point for some other time.
Yeah.
But a little bit of a deficit there. I feel like that's a pick'em game. I don't know who wins that one.
Jacksonville, Charleston, I think, is a pick'em.
I do too, but it's home for Charleston.
Yeah.
So I'll give them.
And of course, like according to Doyle or whoever, HFC, whatever the hell that, home field, whatever. That's all I freaking heard yesterday in that game. Was like, all right, dude, we get it. Home field, yeah.
I knew he was going to. I knew a couple of things happened and he was going to. But, I mean, home field didn't do anything on that ridiculous touchdown run he had.
Yeah.
Where suddenly Yogi turned into an armless wonder. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it.
So this game is going to be a fun one to watch. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Andy Hamilton said something about this is going to be the crowd play game, Arizona at Denver.
Really? I mean,
I think he said that. I think he said that it was like 4 Eastern on Sunday. This was going to be the crowd play. But that's going to be a good game. Arizona visiting Denver.
According to this, all of these games are at 5 o'clock on the same day.
There we go. I think we'll have the schedule out tomorrow.
Yeah, probably.
So,
who you got in that one? Come on.
I think I'm going to go with Arizona.
We like Arizona.
Ashley Jackson
Denver,
and DJ. Yeah, I'm just saying. Denver's 4-1. Arizona's 3-2.
Yeah.
Computers got to make them both 4-2 at the end.
Going to get to the end of the season, everyone's 8-8. Cam goes insane trying to do tiebreakers.
And here's the other game that I really want to see. Fort Worth at Florida. We've played both.
Yep.
I want to see that one.
Yep. Which Fort Worth team shows up? The one that just dismantled the balls, or the one that lost to us?
Yeah. So I don't know. It's St. Louis at Lone Star. Well, we know who's going to take that one.
That's a given.
Here's another good one. Baltimore at Louisiana.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to come out 5-1.
What? Baltimore's only lost. Oh, we have 3 teams at 5-1. Okay.
We have 4 teams. 4 teams at 4-1.
Wait, who else is 4-1?
Denver, Louisiana, Chicago, and Baltimore.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, and I called Baltimore winning the whole thing, so we'll see.
I am on Baltimore on that one because of some of the hits that Louisiana did.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good one that's going to roll up. Houston at Portland. Ooh.
Houston has looked really good at times. I am going to call this one as a Portland. Portland gets their first win.
Portland first win. Okay.
They're due, and if they utilize that linebacker core well, they stop the run and they become one-dimensional.
Okay. Tom Rahman takes Las Vegas Fury into Queen City. Who do we have?
Queen City is Queen City's interesting. I mean, obviously, we know they lost Hacker and nothing, but they. I mean, DJ Powell's a good receiver, right?
They lost to St. Louis 20-3.
I know
yesterday.
they could barely do anything.
Sunday.
Yeah, they could barely do anything.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Really interesting.
And then we have another good one. I think Vegas will take them.
Do you?
I think Vegas will get. I think Tom Rahman will be like, all right, enough of this crap.
Enough of this. Well, I'm saying
Nico's
Queen City.
Come out, run the offense.
I'm saying Queen City because Queen City has this penchant for hanging around at 5-5. You know, at 500. I mean, you know, I could see them finishing the season 6-6.
Yeah.
Just as easily as 8-4. I don't. It's very odd. I'm not sure what's going on with Queen City. They've looked good and then they've not, and so I just don't know what's happening.
So yeah, it'll be. We'll see.
I mean, that's Tulsa. Wild speculation on my part. So
Tulsa driving up the street to Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
After yesterday, Sioux Falls. I don't know. It just depends. It's hard to know who's going to show up.
Right. Well, and I mean, get a chance
any of these games, it's hard to know. You know.
Yeah. And I didn't get a chance to watch that game very much. I saw a little bit of it.
What, Sioux Falls and Fort Worth?
Sioux Falls and Fort Worth.
Oh no, I shut my whole house down. I was done after our game. I couldn't take anymore. Exactly. I couldn't take anymore.
The thing with Sioux Falls, here's the thing about Sioux Falls that it feels like as a someone that's been fanboying over them for a couple of seasons. Sioux Falls, when they get away from the run, they seem to struggle, which I don't understand because they've got good receivers, good tight end, good quarterback. But you watch them, and it's like they're in the power run formations, or they're in that freaking gun straight, and they're throwing interceptions. And I wonder what's going on there. I don't know. I mean, I felt like they gave away their best chance in the championship game because they were throwing the ball more than they should have, right? So
I mean, you got a running back that's leading the league in yards. I mean, why not go to the ground?
And you've got probably maybe the second best fullback in the league. And yes, I'm biased, but our boy's the best. But I mean, I love their game. I love Jalen Wells and Colin Hart doing their thing, right? I love it. I love it. And I love their team. I love their defense. When their defense gets rolling, it's like a flock of angry sparrows. You know, I mean, they're just swarming. You know.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to tell. Can their defense handle the money guy?
Manning.
Teams have been the money guy. Teams have been handling him a little more of late, but he's still a force. And you expect this law of averages. You expect something to come out of that.
Yeah.
It's a home game. I don't see Sioux Falls dropping 2 in a row. Tulsa is wildly inconsistent. Like I said, once again, I thought they could be 8-1, or they could be not 8-1, 8-4. I thought they could be 4-8 just as easily. So who knows? Who knows, right? There's some fun matchups this weekend.
Oh yeah,
very fun.
Very fun.
I mean, I usually try to watch all the games anyway. Once in a while, I'll miss a couple. But there's a lot of I don't want to miss it games coming up.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
It's going to be a fun week 6.
Yeah. Week 6, dude. Week 6. Holy smoke. We're halfway through the season.
Already at week 6.
Yeah.
And you and I talked about this before. It's like, oh, man, I can't wait for the minor leagues to start. and we're already done and we're already into the draft and we're already into the start of the season, and it's like now we're into week 6. It's like Jiminy Christmas.
Well,
you remember last, well, and I'm going to say this calendar year wise, at the end of season 13, you know, how everything kind of went, and you know, we finally got together and put together the Bash Brothers, and oh my gosh, I can't wait for the season to start.
Oh yeah,
dude, now we're like a season and a half later.
I know,
just rolling right along.
Funny to think about, we added another Bash Brother.
Yep, Freddie Trammell added. Yeah,
we'll have Freddie on the field more this week than we did last week. Yeah. Boy, that feels like so long ago. See, that's why I'm not gonna go off again. But I hope the league gets out in front of all this stuff, because I don't want that to go away. I don't want that to go away.
Oh, so am I to understand that Epic Sports is going to do like a new introduction for you?
It's going on this episode.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
People listening to this have already heard it. Yeah.
Okay.
I might as well.
They need to hurry up. I need to hear it.
I might as well take this moment to thank Epic Esports for producing my show. Thank Cameron Curtis for the work he's doing on it. Like I said, got to raise my game. They're so good, it's going to make me look like an amateur if I don't pick it up. Wait, I am an amateur.
Well, I try to pop in every once in a while and help you out.
Yeah. The shows that have you on, I'm so salty about. I'm kidding. The shows that have you on are much more popular than the others.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good.
I get between all the platforms over 100 listeners, usually over 100 listeners when you're on. When you're not, it's about 90, 95.
Aw, I have a fan base.
You do, bastard.
Speaking of that, did you hear Andy Hamilton yesterday talking about anybody from Hostess listens to this? You need to get a hold of Doug Day about Twinkies.
I did hear that.
I loved it. That was awesome.
I loved hearing him and Mark freak out about our fullback.
Dude, they lost their minds.
Andy's not a fullback fan, but
I think Andy's sitting at home right now sipping tea to like refresh his vocal cords after yesterday's wild affair.
Yeah, that was what we just needed. I thought if we got the ball, I thought whoever got the ball to open the overtime had the game. And
yeah, I saw that.
I hate being right, but it's what happened.
Yeah. Brutal.
Yeah, it's fine. Life goes on. You lose, you win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. What else we got? We talked about the upcoming games. Didn't talk a lot about the past week's game, but that's fine. We, like I said, we beat that horse stuff.
Yeah, I think we're at that point. I think we're good.
You feeling good about it?
Feeling good.
I'm here for you, Doug. I just want to make sure that you feel good about this experience. That's my number one goal on all of this.
Your number one priority.
I wake up, I know I'm going to do a podcast, and I hope Doug's going to be okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, this has been
Coach's Corner. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow. No. Go right ahead. You got it. Go right ahead. I'm fine.
Thank you for tuning in to another Coach's Corner. This is Doug Day.
You've been listening to the Coach's Corner podcast with Coach Brian Craven, an Epic Esports Radio Network exclusive. If you enjoyed today's show, tell a friend. Make sure never to miss an episode by subscribing to Epic Esports on YouTube or downloading on Spotify. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and be sure to enable all notifications so you never miss our newest content. Thank you for listening.